Good morning. I'm at Rock Park. Everything I do is a waste of time. Okay, let's see if this works. I don't know if it'll work. Okay. Here I am. Here's H.P. Lovecraft. I don't want to waste your time. Can I even see? I need my glasses. Sorry to waste your time. Let's see if I can see anything. What's this? The Silver Key. When Randolph Carter was 30, he lost the key at the Gate of Dreams. Prior to that time, he had made up for the... I can't see. He had made up for the prosiness of life by nightly excursions to strange and ancient cities beyond space and lovely, unbelievable garden lands across ethereal seas. But as middle age happened upon him, he felt these liberties slipping away little by little until at last he was cut off altogether. No more could his galleys sail up the river. I can't read this. It's not bright enough. It doesn't work. Now I'm really wasting your time. I'll have to read the Silver Key at some other point. How am I going to do this? I could put on my glasses and try again. The idea is to never give up. Oh my goodness. Do I have to go outside now? Maybe I do. Okay. Maybe I'll go outside. I've only wasted 2.5 minutes of your life. I can see out here. It was too dark in the car. I could just sit on my car and read. The Silver Key. When Randolph Carter was 30, he lost the key of the Gate of Dreams. Prior to that time, he had made up for the prosiness of life by nightly excursions to strange and ancient cities beyond space and lovely, unbelievable garden lands across ethereal seas. But as middle age hearkened upon him, he felt those liberties slipping away little by little until at last he was cut off altogether. No more could his galleys sail up the river Ocronus past the gilded spires of Thrawn, or his elephant caravans tramp through perfumed jungles in Cled, where forgotten palaces with veined ivory columns sleep lovely and unbroken under the moon. He had read much of things as they are and talked with too many people. Well-meaning philosophers had taught him to look into the logical relations of things and analyze the processes which shaped his thoughts and fancies. Wonder had gone away, and he had forgotten that all life is only a set of pictures in the brain, among which there is no difference betwixt those born of real things and those born of inward dreamings, and no cause to value the one above the other. Custom had dinned into his ears a superstitious reverence for that which tangibly and physically exists, and had made him secretly ashamed to dwell in visions. Wise men told him his simple fancies were insane and childish, and even more absurd because their actors persist in fancying them full of meaning and purpose as the blind cosmos grinds aimlessly on from nothing to something and from something back to nothing again, neither heeding nor knowing the wishes or existence of the minds that flicker for a second now and then in the darkness. They had chained him down to things that are, and had then explained the workings of those things till mystery had gone out of the world. When he complained and longed to escape into twilight realms where magic molded all the little vivid fragments and prized intermission. And prized associations of his mind into vistas of breathless expectancy and unquenchable delight. They turned him instead toward the newfound prodigies of science, bidding him find wonder in the atom's vortex and mystery in the sky's dimensions. And when he had failed to find those boons in things whose laws are known and measurable, they told him he lacked imagination and was immature because he preferred dream illusions to the illusions of our physical creation. So Carter tried to do as others did and pretended that the common events and emotions of earthy minds were more important than the fantasies of rare and delicate souls. He did not dissent when they told him that the animal pain of a stuck pig or dyspeptic plowman in real life is a greater thing than the peerless beauty of Nerath with its 100 carven gates and domes of chalcedony, which he dimly remembered from his dreams, and under their guidance he cultivated a painstaking sense of pity and tragedy. Once in a while, though, he could not help seeing how shallow, fickle, and meaningless all human aspirations are, and how emptily our real impulses contrast with those pompous ideals we profess to hold. Then he would have recourse to the polite laughter they had taught him to use against the extravagance and artificiality of dreams. For he saw that the daily life of our world is every inch as extravagant and artificial, and far less worthy of respect because of its poverty and beauty, and its silly reluctance to admit its own lack of reason and purpose. In this way he became a kind of humorist, for he did not see that even humor is empty in a mindless universe, devoid of any true standard of consistency or inconsistency. In the first days of his bondage, he had turned to the gentle churchly faith endeared to him by the naive trust of his fathers, for thence stretched mystic avenues which seemed to promise escape from life. Only on closer view did he mark the starved fancy and beauty, the stale and prosy triteness, and the owlish gravity and grotesque claims of solid truth which reigned boresomely and overwhelmingly among most of its professors, or feel to the full the awkwardness with which it sought to keep alive as literal fact the outgrown fears and guesses of a primal race confronting the unknown. It wearied Carter to see how solemnly people tried to make earthly reality out of old myths, which every step of their boasted science confuted, and this misplaced seriousness killed the attachment he might have kept for the ancient creeds had they been content to offer the sonorous rites and emotional outlets in their true guise of ethereal fantasy. But when he came to study those who had thrown off the old myths, he found them even more ugly than those who had not. They did not know that beauty lies in harmony, and that loveliness of life has no standard amidst an aimless cosmos, save only its harmony with the dreams and the feelings which have gone before and blindly molded our little spheres out of the rest of chaos. They did not see that good and evil and beauty and ugliness are only ornamental fruits of perspective, whose sole value lies in their linkage to what chance made our fathers think and feel, and whose finer details are different for every race and culture. Instead, they either denied these things altogether, or transferred them to the crude, vague instincts which they shared with the beasts and peasants, so that their lives were dragged malodorously out in pain, ugliness, and disproportion, yet filled with a ludicrous pride at having escaped from something no more unsound than that which still held them. They had traded the false gods of fear and blind piety for those of license and anarchy. Carter did not taste deeply of these modern freedoms, for their cheapness and squalor sickened his spirit, loving beauty alone, while his reason rebelled at the flimsy logic with which their champions tried to gild brute impulse with a sacredness stripped from the idols they had discarded. He saw that most of them, in common with their cast-off priestcraft, could not escape from the delusion that life has a meaning apart from that which men dream into it, and could not lay aside the crude notion of ethics and obligations beyond those of beauty, even when all nature shrieked off its unconsciousness and impersonal unmorality in the light of their scientific discoveries. Warped and bigoted with preconceived illusions of justice, freedom, and consistency, they cast off the old lore and the old way with the old beliefs, nor ever stopped to think that lore and those ways were the sole makers of their present thoughts and judgments, and the sole guides and standards in a meaningless universe without fixed aims or stable points of reference. Having lost these artificial settings, their lives grew void of direction and dramatic interest, till at length they strove to drown their ennui in bustle and pretended usefulness, noise and excitement, barbaric display and animal sensation. When these things palled, disappointed, or grew nauseous through revulsion, they cultivated irony and bitterness, and found fault with the social order. Never could they realize that their brute foundations were as shifting and contradictory as the gods of their elders, and that the satisfaction of one moment is the bane of the next. Calm, lasting beauty comes only in a dream, and this solace the world had thrown away when in its worship of the real it threw away the secrets of childhood and innocence. Amidst this chaos of hollowness and unrest, Carter tried to live as befitted a man of keen thought and good heritage. With his dreams, intermission, with his dreams fading under the ridicule of the age, he could not believe in anything, but the love of harmony kept him close to the ways of his race and station. He walked impassive through the cities of men, and sighed because no vista seemed fully real, because every flash of yellow sunlight on tall roofs and every glimpse of balustraded plazas in the first lamps of evening served only to remind him of dreams he had once known, and to make him homesick for ethereal lands he no longer knew how to find. Travel was only a mockery, and even the Great War stirred him but little, though he served from the first in the Foreign Legion of France. For a while he sought friends, but soon grew weary of the crudeness of their emotions and the sameness and earthiness of their visions. He felt vaguely glad that all his relatives were distant and out of touch with him, for they would not have understood his mental life. That is, none but his grandfather and great-uncle Christopher could, and they were long dead. Well, there's no point in going on, right? Because no one's gonna watch this until the end, except maybe one person out of 100 over 5 years that may or may not ever listen to this video. I'm just trying to get watch minutes. Let's smoke! No one's gonna see me smoke. Come on. I could just leave the camera rolling. I like the pine trees here in the park. And I like that little park bench. I need one of those. I have a property I need to pay taxes on. I'm late, but I need one of those little park bench gazebos. I need a real gazebo. I need one of those, and then I need a real gazebo. This I could put a table next to and sit on it and use my laptop if I had internet. I need one of those devices that gives you internet everywhere you go. Internet's a scam, by the way. You know that, right? It should be free. But people want to make money. That's another thing that's been exploited. All human beings could have the internet for free. But no. I could use internet and power right here. I'd be on my laptop right now playing Hero Wars. Well, that was fun reading H.P. Lovecraft. A lot of people like pop music because of the words, but those were some really good words. It's like a poem, except it's a story. Someone could take those words and set it to music. I like short stories. I like the musicality of the words. I don't even need music. The words are their own music. And I tell you, reading that was like a workout for my tongue at the gymnasium. It's a tongue twister. A lot of the words I could barely pronounce. A couple of them I had never heard before. Lovecraft has quite a vocabulary. He was an avid reader his entire life. It might seem unnatural if your kid reads a lot of books instead of going outside and play. Well, I did both. I read a lot and I played a lot. I wasted my time. I didn't practice my violin, nor did I play the piano. I was lazy. I didn't feel like it. I didn't know how to play. I was not musical. When I'd sing songs with the other kids in church or school, I couldn't memorize the words. I was stupid. I just kind of had to fake it. My goodness. I'm going to take a nap. So maybe I will apply to Walmart today. I could work there for the rest of my life. How hard of a job can it be? Except that you have to deal with people. I'm not good at anything, so I don't know what they would have me do. Maybe I could be like an old person that checks the receipts at the door. Okay. Well, that's enough of this. It's fun to be on camera, though. I do enjoy it. So I've been watching a lot of AI videos. Panavision 1950s stuff with beautiful women. They are fun to watch. The environments are incredible. I saw some women on Mars. I saw some Conan the Barbarian. And I saw Tomb Raider. It's amazing stuff. But my imagination is such that I want to take it a step further. This is going into territory I can't talk about on YouTube, which is unfortunate. They're only words. But that's the way the world is right now. Everything is edited, and anything that's fun, no, you can't do. It'd be fun to have a little history channel and make AI history videos. But I'd really want to do H.P. Lovecraft and Robert E. Howard material. Just pump that stuff into the AI and see what happens. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now. I bet not a single person will watch this whole thing. But you never know. They might leave it on by accident. Bye-bye.